Hello FNAFers, the Sunspring has come and so did FNAF. And today we'll finally finish our line of 3-part theory about Charlie being in FNAF SB, and this video might be the string that will connect everything we talked about last times. And so if you haven't watched the last two videos about this, I would recommend you to go back and check those two to understand what I will talk about here. To summarize what we talked about so far, I theorized that Charlie has disconnected from the blob and found a new body and is now hiding in the dark bits of the Pizzaplex, practicing how to write and draw. And it seems like she is leaving secret messages for Gregory directing him to do something. Today we'll talk about what if Patient 46 was Charlie all this time. As you know, after upgrading Freddy's Eyes, we can find secret CD discs with therapy sessions on them, which we later can listen to in a secret room, in which we also spot the wall code. On the discs, we spot two recurring numbers, 71 and 46, which represent the patient on the CD. Patient 71 is clearly Vanessa, because we hear her talk and being referred to as Vanessa, while Patient 46 remains unknown. We don't know their name, their voice, or even their gender. Actually, we do know their gender. Not so long ago, people have noticed that Client 46 have been only referred to as a girl in the official translations of the CDs into Spanish, Italian, and some other languages. If you don't know, some languages have words like alone, which can have two versions. One that refers to a boy and other that refers to a girl. And in the case of Client 46, all of the words that refer to her are all feminine versions, which means that if Steel did not make a mistake, then this tells us that Client 46 is a girl. People have been theorizing that the Client 46 is either Gregory, Vanny, Elizabeth, or the Tape Girl, with Gregory being the most popular opinion. But taking what we now know into acclaim, we can now say for sure that this is not Gregory. Now, let's talk about the clients themselves. During all of the therapies, we can notice that Client 46 and 71 are direct opposites of each other. Vanessa likes the smell of flowers, while Client 46 doesn't.
Oh, you like those? The janitor on this floor has a garden and has been putting bouquets in the offices here for years. What's the problem? Oh, the flowers? I'll move them.
Vanessa likes bright blue skies, but doesn't like dark basements, while Client 46 prefers it dark.
I like the blue sky. I don't like dark basements.
Oh, right. Too bright. I'll pull the shades. When the shade's pulled, it feels like we're in a cubbyhole or a cave. Yeah?
Vanessa doesn't eat candy, while Client 46 likes them.
No, thank you. Those have 35 calories apiece.
Sure, you can have a candy.
Because of this, some people thought it might be hinting at Patient 46 being Vanny. But as we know from the game files where Vanessa transforms into her, and from the CD discs where Vanessa bought things for the suit,
It looks like you were shopping for a costume. You purchased some fake fur material. What are you gonna make?
Vanny is in fact Vanessa, just perhaps under the control of Glitchtrap, which creates some problems for the theory that Client 46 is Vanny. Therapists never mark one client as two, even if they have more than one personality, because a person with a personality disorder is still considered as a one living being by them, the same way they consider a person with a cold as a one living being. And even when the clients grow up, they will still have the same number. Also, at one point in the CDs, Vanessa stops going to the therapist because she is moving to another location, which is the Pizzaplex, and can't physically visit the therapist, but Client 46 continues to visit them, which doesn't make sense if she is Vanny, who is Vanessa.
I understand you'll be transferring to a different location soon. I'll be sorry to see you go. I think we've been making progress. Don't you?
I'm needed somewhere else now. Thank you.
Also, during that point, Clan 46 has been noticed at the pizza place, where she is not supposed to be at. Which would not make sense again, because Vanessa works there now. And so if Clan 46 is Vanny, who is Vanessa, it should be okay for her to be there. But that's not all. Throughout the sessions, there are points at which it seems like Clan 46 is a kid. Here are some lines that hint at this, mentioning corners and timeout to describe being punished.
You don't want me to get in trouble, do you? I could be put in the corner for a timeout. Yeah, you think that's funny, huh?
Describing tragedy as a whole that feels funny.
Tragedy always leads to a feeling of loss. It's a whole that feels funny, right?
Explaining what some simple words mean.
And I'm surprised by your knowledge of computers. You're something of a phenom. Do you know what that word means? It means you have unusual skill, like a hacker. I assume you know what a hacker is. Yes? Do you think of yourself as a hacker? When I read your account of what happened, it came across as, well, more of an objective rather than a subjective narrative. Oh, sorry. You don't know what that means, do you?
And even mentioning that she works with kids.
You know, I work with people of all ages, from little kids to the very elderly, and
Sure, if a person has a second personality which thinks that it's a child, the therapist would act that way, but we never heard about Vanny thinking that she's a child. Sure, she does dance when chasing us and wears a bunny suit, but even Willem did that in FNAF VR, and Willem is in control of Vanny, so Vanny's and Willem's stats should be similar. And yeah, he is insane, but he does not think of himself as a child, and nobody talks to him like to a child. Also, the therapist says that the chair doesn't really fit Clan 46, which could mean that it is too big for a child like Clan 46, and the therapist even had to move to another side of the desk to see Clan 46's eyes.
that chair doesn't really fit you, does it?
There, that's better. On this side of the desk, I can see your eyes.
This means that Clan 46 is probably a child, which would mean that she is probably not Vanny, because she's not a child and doesn't think that she's a child. Now, before I will talk about more interesting things, I want to ask you to please subscribe to my channel to not miss any of my videos and press the like button with the bell. Going a little back to what the therapist said, we hear this.
But when I looked through the notes, I didn't get a sense that you've processed that emotionally. When I read your account of what happened, it came across as, well, more of an objective rather than a subjective narrative.
The therapist says that whatever Clan 46 has told her seemed like the client did not experience it, but instead just says it happened to them. To me, it seems like this is trying to hint at Clan 46 being more of a robot who would talk in an objective narrative unlike a normal human being. We also hear that Clan 46 have been manipulating someone.
The techs were reviewing communications going in and out of this building, and they came across some interesting things. They say you were in communication with someone. Well, the techs say it looked to them like it was an attempt to manipulate you, or maybe to lure you somewhere. I don't think you're being manipulated here. I think you're the one doing the manipulating.
This reminded me of the communications between the person living behind the secret messages and Gregory. A lot of people thought that the words hide and run on the post-it notes were the person saying what they are doing, but I believe they are directions for us, for Gregory. I believe they are the same person who wrote the wall code. The wall code, which was telling Gregory what to do, to crawl and run, to crush the vile band, to not be scared and not to cry. The person living behind the notes is not being manipulated by someone, but instead is manipulating Gregory, luring him to the Pizzaplex to solve the mysteries and stop Afton from coming back. Now, let's collect everything that we know about Client 46. Client 46 is possibly a female robot child that hates bright lights and strong smells like flowers. Have been seen around the Pizzaplex and does not talk much. Likes candy and is good at technology and is manipulating someone. A female robot child. Where have I heard that before? What if Client 46 is Charlie Emily? In our last theories, we talked about how she might be the one living in the Post-it Notes room, in a dark, dusty room underground, where we find Post-it Notes saying "This is my home." If someone was living here for some time, they would become disorientated by bright lights and strong smells, and would have been noticed at least once on the camera footage of the Pizzaplex. The room contained a Post-it note with binary codes, which were probably left by a robot who can have knowledge of technology, with it being one, or if the person possessing the robot had a dad who was working with technology, the knowledge could have passed on to this person. We also see a Post-it note with candy on the box, which might indicate that whoever was living here liked candy. As we know, this person was practicing writing and drawing, and so perhaps is also practicing how to speak, which would explain why Client 46 doesn't talk much. It is pretty possible that the person who was living here was Client 46, Charlie, who we theorize was living here, who we theorize wrote the wall code in the secret room where we can listen to the tales about Client 46 and Vanessa. It would make no sense for Benny to spread the CDs and put a CD player near for Gregory to find and listen to, who was led there by someone, lured by someone manipulating him into solving mysteries of the Pizzaplex, someone who has been leaving notes for him and who was writing secret codes. Gregory stays at the Pizzaplex in the canon ending because he wants to stop the murders, to solve the mysteries. He was asked to do it by someone.
Freddy, if I leave now, nothing will change, will it? There will be more disappearances.
What if Charlie is back and is trying to reveal to us what is happening? What if Charlie is Client 46? In one of the ink blood tests, Client 46 sees a mask, and Charlie was possessing the puppet who had a mask.
I like ink blood tests. You want to do one? What do you see? What? You think it's a mask? It reminds you of a mask?
As we know, in the happiest day, Charlie's mask fell last, which might indicate that she will stay longer on Earth than any other missing children. And if we look at the blob, we'll see that FNAF 1 animatronics still have glowing eyes, while Puppet doesn't, and its tears are gone. So what if she has disconnected from the blob and found a new body? Or, in the books, after Charlie died, Henry created 4 robot versions of her. And if there is at least one robot version of Charlie in the games, what if it has awakened? And now she is hiding in the dark corners of the Pizzaplex, practicing how to write, draw, and speak. And she is leaving secret messages behind for Gregory to find, which lead him to the Pizzaplex, where she hid the CD discs for him to find out who is Vanessa, and try and stop William from coming back. What if Charlie has been pulling the strings all this time? Also, just want to say that on the new teaser for the FNAF SB DLC, we see two pair of glowing red eyes, which probably belong to the Blob, but we also see a pair of white eyes in the back, and neither Blob, Vanny, Glamorous, Burn Trap, and even Elizabeth have such. There are only 3 characters with glowing white eyes who this could be: Golden Freddy, Alpha Starbots, who look like Nightmarian and even have his jump scare in the background of theirs, and the last animatronic on our list is the Puppet, aka Charlie. So yeah, tell me in the comments what you think about this theory and who do you think Line 46 is. Or you can share my Discord server in the description and talk about it there. But for now, that's it. Subscribe to my channel to not miss any of my videos, press that like button with a bell, and remember, I always come back.